I'll tell you right now, a lot of us get started wanting to pursue some type of purpose, have some kind of passion in mind, want to do something fun because the grass is always greener, right? We have all these dreams of maybe one day if I'm in my element and I'm doing what I want to do, life is going to be easier, it's going to be a lot more fun, and there's not going to be that much stress. And I'm here to tell you that it is the complete opposite. Life becomes harder. This is the reality. It's more stressful, but it becomes more worth it. So this is the difference, right? And I'm not gonna tell you like life is gonna be like a dream in a way where you're floating and all these positive feelings only. There's gonna be negative feelings too, because I'm not gonna be selling you a dream of a perfect life, of there's never gonna be any type of struggle or anything like that. All I'm saying is when you pursue something that you always wanted to pursue, you can't go into it with the mindset of when I finally get there and I'm finally doing my dream job or whatever it is, I'm going to be much more happier. I'm going to do this and it's going to be like stress free. Like, I'll tell you right now, a lot of stress comes with it. The journey is stressful, but it makes it worth it. So the stress is like, I'm enduring this because who cares? I'm doing what I love. Because in life, nothing is not stressful. Like there's always going to be something stressful that happens, right? For example, you can't avoid death of a family member. You can't avoid accidents. You can't avoid things. It's always going to happen. It's just a part of life. We can't avoid it. It's the human experience. And the more we can realize to embrace it, then we can be like, okay, this is pretty awesome because I prepared for this. Like, yes, I'm going to be sad. Yes, I'm going to be stressed. Yes, I'm going to be frustrated. Whatever comes, I'm ready for it. But what happens in a lot of people is they finally start to pursue their passion or they're on this journey or they get that dream job and then they go, wait, this is not what I expected. I thought I'd be happier. I thought this would be better. I thought all of a sudden like people would treat me nicer. But the cold hard truth is that doesn't happen. And in life, it never is an easy journey. But like I said, it's worth it. And this is the reason why, right? When you're fighting to doing what you want to do, the struggle and stress makes sense why you're doing it. For example, if you're in love with someone and you can't wait to see this person because you haven't seen them in a month and you're like, I will literally pull an all-nighter and drive 2 hours just so I could see your face and hold you, because there's that end like goal to it. You're passionate, you're in love, it makes sense. The reward pays off, right? But here's the difference. Let's say you have to do all of that to see your worst enemy. Why? Well, maybe it's to go beat their ass or whatever, but that's a reward. It's not a reward. You have to pull an all-nighter, you have to drive 2 freaking hours to sit there and be in this painful ass meeting with the worst person that you absolutely don't like to be around. Like, what's the payoff? And that's what we most of us do, right? When we're working that job that we don't want to do, when we're studying things in school that we don't want to be in, and we're forced to do it, that's why we feel like, why am I doing this? And I'm stressing and maybe I want to do something easier. Maybe I'll go, move to LA and I'll get a creative job because maybe in entertainment, it's much more fun. And then I won't have to feel like this. But here's the thing. When people have horrible work ethics and people just cannot work because no matter what, they want to run away from hard work and the feeling of stress and the feeling of confrontation and these negative emotions, when they want to run away from that, they're looking for a dream that doesn't exist. You're going to turn into those damn hipsters that needs to find themselves in India or whatever the fuck they do, right? Like, they're literally trying to just escape hard work or stress or negativity. But for me, I have a different philosophy. I'm like, come on, bitch. Give me all that stress. You know why? It's worth it. It's worth it because I'm in my element. I know what I'm doing. This is my purpose. I'm going toward it. So I'll take it because I have such a huge goal in mind that all these little things do not matter. So what? I got into an argument and someone might have pissed me off. You know what? For the greater good, if this is better for the company, I'll let my ego go. I'll let my pride go. Whatever. I'll work nicely with this person because at the end of the day, I'm thinking about something way beyond me. For example, let's say your goal and your purpose and your passion is to open a no-kill shelter, right? You have a purpose because there's so many doggies all over your town, you know, and you know, you found out that the shelters around, they're basically killing off the doggies every week. And you're like, I got to do something. I want to create a no-kill shelter. And no matter what it takes, I'm going to do this, right? And you finally find some money. You finally find some people that will back you. You finally find an organization that you can partner up with. You keep going and going and going. But if you didn't have that purpose, you would have failed immediately. You would have been like, I don't know how I'm going to make this money. I don't know how I'm going to find people to help me out. But when you have that drive and you have that mission, that stress becomes worth it. And it doesn't scare you anymore. It doesn't make you feel like you can't do it. It doesn't make you feel insecure. So make sure that you have such a huge passion that you don't let yourself get inconvenienced by these little stressors and all that, and you become prepared for it. So today, you don't have to write anything down, but I really want you to focus on this because we all walk into life making the same mistake of the grass is greener. We think that if we're in our element, by doing our, dream job or whatever, all of a sudden, it's like no more pressure. It's a theme park every day. We're riding rides with our friends every day, but the cold hard truth is life will never be like that. And this is the truth. Like, I'm literally living my passion for 13 years. I'm working with my friends, built a company, but it doesn't come with no stress. Believe me, there's plenty of freaking stress. And what I realized is in order for me to fight for my passion, I had to work harder than the person that does something else that's kind of like, I don't want to say easier, but when you work in a company, most companies, it's set up in a way where you don't have to make all these decisions yourself, right? And if you're a freelancer or a business owner, it's a completely different type of work ethic and a mindset because there's no one setting up the rules for you and there's no one telling you what's expected out of you. So when you're working a job, it's kind of easier because someone did all the thinking for you and all you got to do is pretty much follow the directions. And it's like, okay, cool. It's like being a student or whatever until you get a higher position. That's very different, right? You got to start managing and creating jobs and roles for people. So that becomes something totally different. There's more responsibility. But for someone like me who has to create all the rules for themselves, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of I don't know what's going to happen next, and it becomes scary. It's stressful. There's a lot more hours. There's a lot more time. There's a lot more responsibility. Like, if I make a bad decision, that's 30 people that might lose a job, right? So there's a lot more pressure. But at the end of the day, it's super freaking worth it. And I love it. And I love it every single day. But in reality, like a good relationship, you can love someone, but sometimes there's arguments. Sometimes it's not always pretty. And this is the way I want you to look at everything, right? You want to find something that's super fucking worth it, but at the same time, be realistic that it's not always going to be the best thing in the whole entire world. It's going to bring you downs. But that is the whole beauty behind everything, is the downs is when you can learn. When things hit rock bottom, that's when you're like, okay, thank God I'm doing something that I absolutely love because I will fight for it and I will get through this. And I will fight with the people that I love. And you see where I'm getting with this? Everything that we've been building up to this point, it's making life worth it. So the things that you're going through, the stress, you're always going to go through stress. So you might as well do something that you want to fight for. So that's pretty much today's talk. And I want you to take in these words and remind yourself, anytime you go through any type of stress, pressure, whatever, while you're going through this journey of following your purpose, living in your element, doing what you need to do in life, remind yourself, okay, this is supposed to happen. I'm supposed to be stressed out. I'm supposed to go through negative sometimes. But because I love what I do, I'm going to overcome it.